Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's video, we're going to be covering green for BT4, right? And this is going to be my way to play green for BT4. It's not the OTK variant. That will come later. I will cover that as well. Don't worry. This is just how I want to play it, and it's not so much of an OTK strategy where if you don't get your big combo off, you know, your perfect combo with Grand Kawagamon and Palmon, then, you know, you're going to struggle. This deck just can do so many different things that it got a little bit of control from Nidhogg over here and a little bit of OTK kind of scenario from Hercules and Boncho Stingmon. So it's spicy, okay? It's spicy. Let's get into this. Also, don't forget this month's memory marker is Upamon. So all you yellow players out there looking to get your War Greymon on, that you're going to be running your Upamons, definitely going to want this little guy. He's so cute. BT4 is going to be here for a while, so you definitely got time. Make sure you get in on that Patreon. This is for June. All right? Also, you blue players out there, Upamon definitely going to be making a comeback for blue in kind of ancient Garurumon shenanigans or blue Rookie Rush. Yeah, you're going to want an Upamon, and he's the perfect memory marker for those. All of them are going to be handmade by my wife. They glow in the dark. They're super adorable. I wanted to start with the Megas here, okay? Just so the deck makes sense as we go through and explain things, because literally, starting with the egg, you need to know what the Megas are for the egg to make sense, okay? And just for the strategy of the deck to make sense. So first off, we have Nidhogg here, and Nidhogg is our big control beat stick, right? This thing is powerful. This is like Alter S, but better, okay? So its effect is when Digivolving, Digiburst 4. So for 4, that's Egg, Rookie, Champion, and Ultimate. So that's all your levels, you know, so 2, 3, 4, and 5. Underneath him, all of them have to go to get this ability off. So just keep that in mind. You can't hard play a Rookie and then go up into this guy, because you can't do that. But suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. 5,000 or DP or less is pretty much all of Rookie Rush, except for some of their level 4s. Even then, it's still several of their level 4s, so that's really good. Then place all of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. Trash all the Digivolution cards of those Digimon. That's insane. So you get to suspend everything that's 5,000 or DP or less, and then trash all those that you just suspended, and then anything else that they had suspended also, or not trash, sorry, they goes to the bottom of the deck. Everything else gets trashed. But then anything else. So whereas Alter S just de-digivolves, so you de-digivolve a 7 into a 6, Alter S doesn't kill that. You de-digivolve a 6 into a 5, Alter S probably still not gonna kill it, okay? But with Nidhogg, if it's already suspended, say they already attacked the previous turn, whatever that it is that you've done, Nidhogg just gets rid of it. So any of that boss stuff that you got to worry about, the only thing that it gets around Nidhogg is something with Reboot. And Reboot, really, most decks that run stuff that with Reboot isn't too popular in BT4 meta. So only thing that gets around Nidhogg is maybe Red Black Mega Zoo, like with Ragnalordmon. That's really it. So Nidhogg gonna be so powerful. I only have him as a 3-of because he has a Digivolve cost of 5. Thankfully, his effect is when Digivolving and not main. If it still had to be your turn to activate his ability, he would not be good. But thankfully, it's when Digivolving, so you'll more than likely have to pass your turn. You know, just very rare situations will you be at 5 memory or more. Fighting Mega Zoo is one of those scenarios. Or if your opponent like Chaos Mons you, right, and gives you a whole bunch of memory to work with, that's another scenario where you could have enough to go into Nidhogg. Also, we do have the 1 hidden potential discovered, which you're pretty much going to want to save this just for Nidhogg. You'd actually, with this deck, you might not actually have to use it for the Hercules Kabuterimon. A lot of people have been crapping all over Hercules Kabuterimon. He did amazing in the Japanese meta in the very beginning, right? Because Hidden Potential Discovered was at 4 in their meta in the beginning of BT4. So this deck was just everywhere, okay? It was right there neck and neck with yellow for best deck. People are thinking that this is not the way to play green. OTK is the way to play green with Grand Kawagamon. However, with this deck, with the way we've got it structured, you can reliably every turn be at 4 memory. So to go into Hercules Kabuterimon, and this thing is so good. So 12,000 DP is solid. A good chunk of the cards that are meta relevant in BT4 are 11,000 DP. All the level 6s that people are playing, pretty much they're all 11,000. So you can run over pretty much anything you want. Also, in case they don't have anything suspended, his Digiburst ability is suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So Digiburst 2, and boom, you attack what you just suspended. Or if they have a blocker in your way and you need to push for game, suspend the blocker and then push for game. He sets up to do whatever he wants. If he needs to clear the board, he can set up to clear the board. If he needs to punch for game and get rid of and suspend the blockers to get them out of the way, he can do that. He is so good. And he has piercing because he's a green. You know, green is all about piercing. A lot of their best stuff has piercing, and he's no different. So he's super powerful. Very you can build him with the right Digimon underneath, because you only need to get rid of 2 of your 4 Digimon that's underneath him. So the way we have the deck built, you can build it right and get lots of use out of this guy. So we'll touch back just a little bit more on how we're going to get that 4 memory consistently every turn. Boncho Stingmon. All right. So Boncho is one of those that some people love, some people are kind of like, they go back and forth. He has piercing, which is great. Green with piercing is amazing. When attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon that has 12,000 DP or more, this Digimon gains 7,000 DP and security attack +2. So you're going to do 3 security checks with this guy. The Grand Kawagamon OTK is 3 security checks, right? And then they go into Chaosmon for an additional set of technically 3. We have a way to match that. So essentially, you need to be able to clear 5 security in one turn to be on par with green OTK. We can do that, okay? I'm telling you now, we can do it. We'll get into it. We can match that deck right here. Boncho Stingmon is our way to match green OTK. So the stipulation is you need a Digimon that has 12,000 DP or more. People are saying that, well, War Greymon doesn't have that. Well, a lot of times people go into Chaosmon on top of their War Greymon. That's just a thing. That's fairly common, okay? Green OTK, they go into Chaosmon, right? And the thing about green OTK is usually they can't close that same turn that they kill the 5. So that's another reason, another way that this deck could maybe change, how that works. But basically, they're going to kick it back over to you, so that way you have a chance to come back. And Boncho is a great way to get there. So there is lots of things in the meta that's going to be 12,000 DP. The Ancient Garurumons are going to be there. Nidhoggmon, you act like Nidhoggmon isn't going to be in the meta, people. Nidhoggmon is going to be in green. Even if you're playing OTK green, you're at least probably running 2 Nidhogg, okay? I can't see you not. It's just too good of a green card. It's too powerful not to run in every type of green deck out there. But yeah, so Boncho is going to be live, okay? Trust me. Now you're thinking, well, you can't set up. How do you want him to attack into that 12,000 if there's nothing, if they're not suspended, right? Well, we have Lilamon here. And Lilamon Digiburst 2 is level 5, right? Digiburst 2, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So this is going to set up your play for Boncho. She also sets up other plays. She goes great with Nidhogg, so you can use her ability to suspend something, right? Maybe they didn't attack with their big B or whatever it is. They're level 6, they're level 7. Maybe it's not suspended. You can go into her, right, for 3 memory. As long as you have like a memory tamer on field, then you can go into her, Digiburst 2, suspend something, and then on another level 5, right, go into Nidhoggmon. So it's a little bit more tricky to do that, but I'm saying the plays are there, okay? She doesn't really combo too well with Hercules too much because he can already do that. But she's great with Boncho, and has some good combo potential with Nidhogg, assuming you have another level 5 on field. So that's kind of the strategy for the deck here. And of course we have hidden potential discovered. We all discussed that and how it's amazing. We have our Chaos Mons here next up for our level 7s. So I wanted to throw Valderarms in here, but ultimately I don't think you should use Valderarms. I think you should just double up on the black-green Chaos Mon, because I think it's going to be way more aggro and more conducive to green's playstyle than Valderarms is. I think Valderarms is going to be great for yellow. It's going to be great for some other variant decks out there. But this one, for this particular deck, just go with the Chaos Mon, because we get the Piercing, which we love in this deck. We love Piercing in this deck. Also, when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, then it can attack your opponent's Digimon. This effect allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon. So if, say, you're not going to do the Nidhogg play, right? You're going to just attack over whatever their big beater is. He's great for that. And then you get to do more security checks. So the combo here with the Boncho is Boncho's going to swing in and clear something, okay? Whatever big thing is on field, he's going to go in and clear it, and he's going to check, you think 3 security, right? We have the Mega Kabuterimon in here, and the inheritable is once per turn, your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So Boncho, when he does that, is effectively clearing 4 security by himself. He's clearing 4 security. And then you can go into a Chaos Mon for an additional one because he has the Piercing there. And so that's your 5 security. So right there, that combo with Boncho and Chaos Mon, that's this on par, right, with your green OTK. Green OTK has jamming though, but my thing is the Boncho is going to be so strong it's going to clear anything in security. The only thing that could have maybe changed it was if people are going to still play Shine Greymon, which I don't think they're going to play Shine Greymon, at least not a whole lot of it, not like it used to be. So you don't have to worry about those TKs on field bumping up the security Digimon anymore. It's just that you don't have to worry about that. So Boncho is going to clear everything that's going to be in security, and then Chaos Mon's going to come in here and clean up that last security, whatever it is. So there's your 5 right there. So that combo is your OTK. So this green deck can OTK differently, but it still gets the job done. And that's what I love about this. Hercules Kabuterimon, also very incredible. So it can swing in. Again, if you combine it with the Mega Kabuterimon here, you're going to get 2 security checks there, and then you can go into the Chaos Mon. What I like about Hercules, though, is he's just consistent damage every single turn. He's just going to keep clearing your opponent's stuff turn after turn. So every time they get something on field, you're just going to Digiburst 2, and then run it over. Digiburst 2, run it over. Just incredible. It's super strong. Super, super strong. Definitely loving Hercules Kabuterimon. Just the whole deck is just, it's really cool how it all works together. All right, now we are going to discuss the Tamers, and then we're going to start back at the top. So we got Mimi here, and Mimi's got memory fixer, right? So if you're at 2 or less, you go up to 3 at the beginning of the turn. Also, you get an extra raising phase with her. So we like to get stuff out on field with green, right? We like to get multiple things. Like I said, if you want to get the Lilamon and the Nidhogg play out, you need to be getting lots of stuff out on field as fast as possible, and Mimi's really great for that. Yeah, just nothing really more to say about Mimi. Next is Yoshino. So she's new for BT4, right? And so why are we playing her? On play, return 1 Digi-Egg card, that's a weird way to say it, Digi-Egg card from your trash to the bottom of your Digi-Egg deck. So you get a little bit of recursion, right? You recycle your eggs, which with Mimi, you're burning through your eggs extra fast with Mimi. But with Yoshino, we can at least get 1 back. So that's pretty important. Also, your turn, when Digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Digiburst, you may suspend this Tamer to reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. There it is, right there. That is our first way of getting into Hercules Kabuterimon for 3 memory. with Mimi on field, with both of these on field, you can go into Hercules Kabuterimon and it stays on your turn. You don't need hidden potential. You do not need hidden potential to get this play off. Now you're thinking, one tamer, you're going to go through your whole deck for one tamer to get this one thing off. Also, she works with Lilamon, which is really great, because you can also go into Lilamon for super cheap. And, yeah, so she's going to have multiple, like, value out of here. The on-play effect is going to be great, because we're actually only going to be playing 4 eggs. So we're going to go ahead and jump up here into our eggs. And I went with the Argomon. So Argomon might surprise you, because a lot of people are doing a lot of different green eggs all over the place. My thing is, a lot of the eggs that people are running with doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, oh, give 1000 DP to something with Digiburst. You're Digibursting, people. Even if you're playing green OTK, you're Digibursting all 4 of your eggs away, or all 4 of your inheritables away. You're not going to get any kind of buff off of your egg if you're playing green OTK. It makes no sense to me if you're doing that. If it makes sense to you, please let me know. I mean, are you just not doing the green OTK? Are you only doing Digiburst 2 on Grand Kawagamon and not getting the +2 security attack? Because if you are, you're not playing green OTK. You're playing something else entirely, and it's not the same, okay? So you can't argue that this green OTK is like the way to go if you're not actually doing the OTK with it, you know? Like, I don't understand that at all, that whole concept. So I didn't want to go with anything that was going to be like that kind of fashion of a deck. With the Digibursting. So Argomon is amazing. If you've been playing green for a while, if you play green in 1.5, you can really see the value of Argomon. Your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, gain 1 memory. So again, with a memory fixing tamer and 1 Argomon on field, when you unsuspend, boom, you go up to 4 memory. Now you can go into Hercules Kabuterimon and just start cleaning up. Okay, that's my point, is the eggs, you're going to have all 4 of these eggs. We're not running 5 eggs, so you'll always have an Argomon live that you can get this combo going with. And that's pretty important, at least to me, in this whole concept of this deck, is to always make sure we can either get 4 memory on field for Hercules, or have Yoshino on field to reduce Hercules' Digivolve cost by 1, so that way he's only at 3. And that's kind of the foundation of the deck. That's kind of our overall strategy. Also, I mean, Nidhogg is just a beast by himself. Just having him in the deck for the control aspect. Then we got Hercules for just the consistent turn after turn after turn, just clearing stuff. And then we have the Bancho Stingmon for the big OTK play if we want to go that route. Just the deck has a nice broad diversion of what you want to do. For whatever your opponent is playing, you have multiple strategies, and that is super important to be able to handle anything your opponent throws at you. And this green deck, it feels like it can do that. Okay, to me, playing it, like, that's the feeling I get every time I play this. So we'll go on from here, but now that the foundation is there, hopefully the rest of the cards make sense. Lalamon, this is our recursion, so if you trash her for Digiburst, you can just add her right back to hand. Between the Nidhogg, the Lilamon, and the Hercules Kabuterimon, there's lots of chances to get her back to hand. So some good value here. Dokunimon, so Baby Wormmon here, or I guess it's a little different from Wormmon. But on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with Digiburst among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So green has a lot of these, like, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and do something. Some of them are like, what is it? Palmon adds a level 4 to hand, right? I like this because it's the Digiburst, because Digiburst is our main stuff, and it's also what our deck is in the shortest supply of. We have a nice abundance of level 4s. We should be able to draw into a level 4 just naturally. Getting into a Mega, though, one of the Megas that we need, it's a little bit harder because they're in shorter supply. So being able to add the exact one that we need, very important. Level 5 or level 6 because of the Lilamon. So yeah, Dokunimon, very important for that. Next up, we got the new 5K 2-play cost. I mean, just having a 2-play cost vanilla is just really nice. Also, 5K is just really massive for a rookie for a 2-play cost. So yeah, throw it in there as our one vanilla, right? All of our other rookies are digivolving. This will be always our just on play one. So we're just gonna play this one every time. Our last rookie here is gonna be the Terriermon. This is our stop your opponent from gaining memory other than tamers. That's so important, guys. Like, it's getting more and more important. Yellow has their new card that gives them 2 memory when they play it. It's a 0 cost and they gain 2 memory. They just have to trash one of their cards in security. If they have no cards in security, they can still activate it and gain 2 memory. That is powerful. Purple has their new card where for every 10 in trash, they gain a memory. Okay, blue is still got Hammer Spark. All these decks are getting more and more stuff. Even red, they still have Biomon, right? If Biomon crashes and dies, they gain a memory. Lots and lots of decks are getting these ways to gain memory. Even the green mirror here, an Argomon, right? This shuts down the Argomons. I think every deck probably moving forward should start implementing these. And it's just going to get worse. With the delayed, the option cards that are delayed, when those come out, you're really going to want these memory stopping tamer or memory stopping Digimon. They're going to be more and more relevant. So start getting used to at least running 2 in your deck, because times are changing. All right, our level 4s here. First up, we got the Roachmon. So Roachmon is similar to our Vegemon, right? 1 cost evolution, level 4. That's great stuff. Play cost of 3, right? It's only 3,000 DP, whereas Vegemon is 6. But really, it's not like you're swinging with these guys, right? Their level 4s are literally stepping stones to get into your 5s and your 6s as fast as possible in this deck. So just a level 1 is the way to go, and a play cost of 3. If you absolutely need to, you can play this guy. The only thing that he's gonna do is stop you from being able to Digiburst with either if you skip your level 3s, then you can't Digiburst with your 5s. And the only one you're going to get value off of is going to be Hercules. But if you're just going into Boncho anyways, your plan is to go into Boncho, then he works great for that. So ultimately, you want to Digivolve with him, but if you have to hard play a level 4, a 3 cost is super nice. Next up, we got the new Kabuterimon. This is our new blocker. So no more is it turn 1 and you're like, okay, I want to put my opponent at 1 memory, but I really need a blocker. Which one of these 2 level 4s do I play? Now, every time you're just going to go into Kabuterimon and just answer that question. You're going to put them at 1 memory and have a blocker set up for next turn. Great stuff. Love these guys. I think every deck is probably going to be playing these at 4. Honestly, every deck will be playing 4 of their whatever their new blocker is. All right, next up is so I have this as a 1 of, just because I have some other stuff that I want to show you. So level 4, 1 cost evolution. That's great stuff. Play cost of 5. You prefer not to, but at least it's 1 cheaper than the regular Kabuterimon. That's a 6 for the same exact effect. It's just kind of nice to get a little bit of a DP buff on some stuff if you need it. Again, who knows? But with this deck being able to suspend your opponent's stuff, it does make the Gargomon more live, which I do like. So with Hercules, you leave the Gargomon underneath when you Digiburst, right? And so then you're going to get that nice buff with from the Gargomon, so you can swing over things even easier than you could before. So it is in here, but the Togemon. So my thing is, I don't know if I want to just play the 3 Gargomon and call it good there. I don't know if I want to bump up the ratios are a little weird. I do have the 11 level 4s here. Just something to think about if you want to do that or not. You might do 2 Gargomon and then 2 of this Togemon. But listen to this. So we've had Togemon for a while, since BT1. It is an evolution cost 2 on a level 4, which for green is a little steep. But when Digivolving, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 level 5 or higher Digimon card among them to your hand. You notice it doesn't say anything about green? You know what's not green? Chaosmon. Chaosmon is not green. So reveal the top 3 cards of your hand. of your deck, and then just get anything level 5. So if you need a level 5, you can grab a level 5. If you need a level 6, grab a level 6. If the Chaosmon does happen to flip up, grab a Chaosmon. You know, grab what you need. And I like that dig effect, honestly. But going right into the Lilymon here, if you don't want to play the Togemon at the level 4, you might consider playing Lilymon. Lilymon does the same thing, but it says reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and you add one level 6 or higher Digimon card among them to your hand. Doesn't say anything about color in this one either. So again, grab the exact level 6 you want, or grab a level 7 if you need that. Yeah, both of these cards are very interesting. I just wanted to include them as just something to think about. It is a very, very interesting possibility. But the problem is, to play these, you have to give up really good stuff. Lilymon and Mega Kabuterimon here, both level 5s, are incredible in this deck. I do have another shout out at the end. There's a reason that we're at 55 of 50 cards. It's because I have a couple honorable mentions I want to include there that weren't these two. So just very, very, very interesting. The fact that you can add anything, right? Any color. I definitely like that. So very, very spicy. Next up, we got Mega Kabuterimon, which we already covered. It's just, this deck is all about piercing, right? So you're controlling your opponent's stuff by just running it over. Okay, so you're piercing over everything, and when you pierce, you just get to trash the top card of your opponent's security. That is super good, because when you do that, it doesn't actually flip it over and activate. So if there's like a Gaia Force or some, a 15 DP, whatever, Omnimon, he doesn't care. It just gets trashed. It's kind of like Gallantmon, how Gallantmon's effect works. You just get to trash it. Very, very powerful. It's just, having Mega Kabuterimon in the deck is how we get around, how we compete, I should say, with the OTK green. Next up is Lilymon. We also covered Lilymon and how she works. Digiburst 2, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Works great with Nidhogg. Works great with Boncho, right? Because you're going to go into Boncho next on top of her. Just really cool. Definitely enjoy having her. Also, when attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Sure, why not? Especially if you can find a way to get multiple attacks off, which there is one way. We'll cover it. Instead of running the Mega Kabuterimon, there's something else we could run. But again, that's both level 5, so it's a little tricky. But yeah, so maybe that's relevant. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So that's pretty cool. Next up, so we've already covered all these guys. Then we covered the Chaosmons, the Mimi, and the Yoshino already. I do have the Flower Cannons in here. Only out of 2 of. This deck is super aggro, right? We're not really trying to stop our opponent from killing us super fast. We're more worried about trying to win fast. So what we did was we got rid of a lot of our cards that we rely on security to protect us to go more aggro here. So that's why the Flower Cannon is here. The play cost of 2. Is that really relevant when we have Hercules? We have Lilymon. So more than likely, you don't really need to play Flower Cannon from hand. It is nice to have in security, maybe if you need it, but not really a must anymore. It's crazy to think playing green and not maxing out on Flower Cannon. But yeah, so you don't really ever need to play this. It's nice when it's in security. Doesn't work on blockers, and there's a lot more blockers flying around, especially those decks that are playing both of their level 4 blockers. Yeah, Flower Cannon does nothing to that. So because of that, we did include the one Needle Spray. I don't know which one I like more, though. The Needle Spray or the Flower Cannons. Both of them on play effect, same thing. Same exact on play thing. So I don't really need it for this deck. But at least in security, you can suspend. It's only one thing, but it could be a blocker. And I think that's kind of important that you can choose a blocker with Needle Spray in security. I don't know, though. Until we actually really get into this meta deep, I don't know which one's going to be better, Needle Spray or Flower Cannon. All right, next up is our honorable mentions. So, Ken. Ken is another memory fixer. Memory fixing is very important in this deck, okay? Whether you're going to go with the Mimi or the Ken, you need some sort of memory fixer. But what I like about Ken is, again, particularly just for this deck, your turn when one of your green or blue Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. So if you don't really need to rush your eggs out as much, right? Mimi's really good in like a Sarismon deck where you're constantly needing all these Digimon on your field to suspend to Digizorption. We're not Digizorptioning in this deck at all. So is it really needed for Mimi to just aggro out those eggs as fast? Maybe not, especially if you're just leaving your stuff in the raising area. You're building all the way up into your level 5 in the raising area and just leaving them until they're ready to move out so you can go into level 6. Mimi's just kind of dead at that point. So maybe instead of Mimi, you can run 2 Ken or just run 1 of each. It's a possibility, okay? Just something to think about. I think he's definitely worth considering in this deck particularly because, again, we're all about the piercing, okay? We're trying to just destroy as much of our opponent's stuff as possible. So definitely loving Ken. I do want to just mention our blockers are here. They are something to consider, honestly. When is a blocker ever not good, you know? Maybe against this deck, but, you know, that's about it. Most decks, having blockers on field, especially if OTK green is a thing, having multiple blockers is important because just having a couple blockers on field like shuts that deck down. They can't do their big wombo combo because you have blockers in the way. So they're having to do all this effort to suspend your blockers, right? If they do Lilamon's ability to suspend your blocker to get out of the way, and then they go into Grand Kawagamon, that's 1 less security Digiburst or security attack +1 that it gets to Digiburst into because it already had to spend to suspend your blocker. So your blocker already putting in value just because it had to eat one of the security attack pluses. So, I mean, that's pretty good, honestly. So both blockers here, just level 5 or level 4, you know, if you need to fit them in, you have lots of options in green. That's one of the best things about green is, you know, they have a level 5 blocker. Only a 2 memory cost, too. I mean, that's better than both level 5s that we have in here. Both of these guys are 3s. Even the Lilymon over here is a 3. But Cherrymon's only a 2. So just something to think about. All right, next up is Agumon. I didn't have Agumon in there. Yeah, I think this is the first green deck I've built so far that didn't have maxed out 4 of Agumon. Again, we're Digibursting so much in this deck that we're never going to get to use a lot of these inheritables. A lot of these inheritables go away. So just depending on who you're going into. If you're going into Nidhogg, it's going to go away. At least with Boncho and Hercules, it'll stay. But if you have Lilamon's going to Digiburst 2 things away. So, yeah, you could still lose your Agumon super easily. So I just think that the other stuff that we had for our rookies was a little bit more important. And then last up is Metal Tyrannomon. So at the end of 1.5 for green, we actually started seeing a little bit more Metal Tyrannomon played in green. It's honestly pretty interesting. I do think it has a good spot in this deck. If you don't want to run the Mega Kabuterimon for that trash 1 security, you can run the Metal Tyrannomon instead. He has 2 memory costs to evolve. So that's a lot better. Very, very cheap. For a level 5, 2 is very good. And the inheritable here, when this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. Wow. Okay, so let's think about it with Hercules and Boncho here. Because again, you won't ever get to use it in Nidhogg more than likely. So we have Hercules here, which he's 12k. You're going to be able to just run over most megas. Most popular megas right now in BT4 are 11k. So being able to kill them is kind of easy, honestly. So you can get multiple shots off with this Hercules here. So that's 2 things that you can pierce through, essentially. Because you can Digiburst, one, you know, say they have one thing suspended and another thing like a blocker or something ready. You can Digiburst the blocker, right? And then swing over the level 6 because, you know, they want to use their blocker to protect their level 6. Swing over their level 6 with Hercules, and then turn around and swing over the other thing. That's 2 piercing checks you're going to get. So whereas the Mega Kabuterimon allowed Hercules to get 2 security checks, essentially you're going to trash 1 and then check 1 with Hercules. Now Hercules can make 2 attacks it gets 2 security checks, it also gets to clear 2 things off field. So just making Hercules even more powerful than he was before. Yeah, so just a different way you could run it. And then again, in combination with Boncho here, Boncho's big thing is trying to swing over a 12k body, which everything 12k and higher for Boncho to swing over is going to trigger Metal Tyrannomon. So Boncho and Metal Tyrannomon is very good combo. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You're going to get swing over the level 6. You're going to check 3 security, right? Unsuspend. And then you get a swing again, right? Because now you have the plus security attack for the rest of the turn. You get a swing again, either straight into security or pierce over something else. That's going to be 3 more security checks, right? And then on top of that, you can go into a Chaosmon, right? And swing again for 3 more security checks for 9 total security checks potentially with this. Because Boncho's little thing here, it stays on this Digimon. So even if you go into a Chaosmon, Boncho's little buff here applies to the Chaosmon. I forgot to mention that earlier, but that is incredibly important to mention. That yeah, this is just another way to get the OTK off. So Boncho's even better. Like, I cannot stress how good Boncho is in this whole deck. This format is incredible for Boncho. I think he's gonna like see a lot of really interesting play for sure. In a way, he's almost better than Hercules just because of like how adaptable he is and just being able to give his buffs to Chaosmon. So same with the OTK with Grand Kawagamon. Grand Kawagamon passes his buffs off over to Chaosmon. Same exact premise here with Boncho's. Does the same thing. We can just do it differently. And we can fit it in with a whole different strategy, which I love the most. We don't have to digiburst away all of our inheritables to get to the same outcome, right? So you get to keep, you know, your all your buffs and everything like that. So Metal Tyrannomon, definitely another way to look at if you don't want to go with the Mega Kabuterimon route. This deck is just crazy. All the different possibilities. I mean, like, think back to 1.0 Purple. Like, 1.0 Purple had a very high ceiling and was ultimately probably the best deck of 1.0, more than Blue Omni. Blue Omni was very straightforward, very easy. Purple, though, was very difficult. But because of that, it could handle any deck. A good Purple player could beat anyone in 1.0 if they had a very thought-out deck and really knew their deck and really knew their opponent. And that's what I think this deck kind of has, that same similarity going for it. It's very, very interesting. And just all the different ways you can play it and all the different outcomes you can go to. This deck is going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway. Well, not even giveaways. I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon. Stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's going to be more in the works also. So lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier. And if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there. You know, official Battle Ready Ink merch. Awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs. So they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good. So definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video. That helps a ton. And subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.